Alright, take it away, what do you say? 4.4 litre fuel consumption, touchscreen, central locking, power steering, electric windows, park distance control, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, airbags, ABS, and an EBD, and a VSE, and an HSC, 7 color options. Look at that, boot space, sold.
Well, I'm sold.
Toyota Vitz, more or less cash.
Who wants McDonald's?
No.
It's Derby Day in Dobsonville. Two of the country's most esteemed old clubs collide as Moroka Swallows entertain Kaizer Chiefs in the DSTV Premiership on what is the first weekend of domestic action after the international break. Well, it's high stakes in Soweto this afternoon as we welcome you to a blazing hot Dobsonville. And perhaps the heat has dissuaded some from making their way through to this particular venue, but there's still a strong presence from both sets of fans inside the stadium for this afternoon's derby, as we say a big hello to what is an interesting, intriguing fixture here between two sides who are enjoying contrasting form. This is the 45th PSL era clash between Swallows and Chiefs in the top flight. It's a match that historically has been dominated by Amakhosi, but since Swallows returned to the Premiership, there has been precious little to separate them. 6 meetings, 2 wins apiece, and 2 draws. And we are expecting today another fairly tight contest. The current form most certainly favors the DUBE Birds. They're unbeaten in their last 5 league games. In fact, they've lost just 1 of their last 8 in the DSTV Premiership. Kaizer Chiefs, however, have suffered 3 losses in their last 4 league outings, 4 losses in their last 5 in all competitions. They really need to turn the corner. The international break came at exactly the right time. They were able to digest their defeat to Orlando Pirates with this 2-week break, and they've really made several changes to the side that line up this afternoon, which we'll introduce you to shortly after looking at the hosts first. Swallows actually have 2 players returning from suspension for today's game. So Gabriel Mahango and Linda Kutlem-Charlie did set out against Polokwane City a fortnight ago after accumulation of yellow cards, but they're available for the derby. They slot straight back into the 11. Tabang Maponya, who earned his first Swallows start against Rise and Shine, is back on the bench. Kagiso Malinga is the other player to make way. 5 changes for Chiefs from the 11 that started against Pirates. Khune is out. Bruce Vuma starts for the first time in 13 months. Dolly and Detlokwe are injured. Kunika and Castillo dropped to the bench. It's the first time this season that the Venezuelan doesn't start in the DSTV Prem. Coming in are Sfiso Tlanti, Reef Frosler in defense, whilst Pulimori and Christian Saile are installed a little further up the field for Amakhosi this afternoon. So, quick team photograph for posterity for the DUBE Birds, who are looking to continue what has been a really excellent run for them. Brian Mata is alongside me for this match, and perhaps it's unsurprising to have seen so many changes for Kaizer Chiefs, especially considering that this is the longest uninterrupted period that Kevin Johnson would have got to work with his team, as we let you know who will be in charge of this match. Amongide Tom, assisted by Oscar Totsetsi, and Thabo Twaise. Kharmogwena is our 4th official for today. Brian, the formations.
Well, when you look at Swallows, the key strength should be Sibia and Alan's combination defensively. But they've got the influence of Lanchene Palan and Andy Lejali to pull the strings. Of course, don't ignore that man on the right-hand side, Ntsako Makubela. The strength of Mabaso in the box, Kabadinho Mango making runs around him, that could prove to be lethal and the strength that Swallows has up front. For Chiefs, it's all about the tried and tested. Dove Warmer so far settling alongside Simango. It's Mtetwa that plays more the holding role. That allows Ngobo to move forward, to play alongside, of course, Modi, to supply Saile and Chivaviro, who are going to lead that front line.
And now we observe a moment of silence. A very sad passing of former Orlando Pirates captain Papi Khomane. Word that just reached us. An unbelievable loss. May his soul rest in peace. Brian, I'd be remiss if I didn't allow you to share your sentiments on what is very, very sad news. Papi Khomane passing in a car accident this weekend.
I'm lost for words. I know the family, the father, the entire family. I'm lost for words. May his soul rest in peace. Great footballer, great human being. Very emotional for me.
Well, as we all try and digest that, we start on perhaps a little bit of a somber note, but we have to turn our attention back to the Soweto derby at hand. And last season, this match produced 2 away wins. Kaizer Chiefs grabbed a 2-1 victory in Dobsonville. That was just over a year ago. But the most recent meeting between these two sides, Chiefs hosted Swallows in Polokwane as we get up and running here. And it was a win that day for Swallows, then under the tutelage of Musa Nyatama as interim coach, a 2-1 win that saw them preserve their top flight status. And we might not even have reached the halfway point of this season, but this time around, it's Kaizer Chiefs who are languishing in the bottom half of the table as they clash again.
Kabadinho Mango makes a run, looks at the assistant on the far side. He knows he had peeled off early. Steve Compello said they are confident enough to build from the back. But I think as they build from the back, they'll be aware or looking for the runs from Kabadinho Mango and Sekhukhune Mabasa, who's so far been in fine form. He's the man that you're talking about. Great footballer in his day. And the man who was a hard tackler, Steve Compella, was lucky to play alongside him at Kaizer Chiefs. Played against him at Free State Stars.
A former player and coach for Kaizer Chiefs is in charge of the Zamakosi side for 3 seasons. He oversaw in excess of 100 games. And in the 4 or so years since he departed the club, he's come face to face with them as a sole head coach on 4 occasions, and he's yet to win 2 draws, 2 defeats. Of course, that's not including his time at Mamelodi Sundowns, where he was a senior coach. But 2018 drew 2-2 with Kaizer Chiefs, then in charge of Bloemfontein Celtic, and 3 matches he played against Chiefs as the coach of Lamontville Golden Arrows. Drew 1-1, lost 1-0, and most recently lost 2-0.
I think he thrives on this sort of projects. Remember when he took over at Bloemfontein Celtic, Steve Compella. Things were tough for Celtic, got the players to focus on the 4 lines that he mentioned. He says, focus on what happens. Those 4 lines, and you'll enjoy your football. And they definitely did.
Yep.
Golden Arrows, Ntako Makowela gets to be reunited with Steve Compella. And so far so good for Steve Coach Steve at Swallows.
Well, there is a concern at the moment for Makowela, and he sat out the previous league game against Polokwane City after an accumulation of yellow cards, but prior to that he had started all 9 league games for Swallows, so an important player for them. Those who arrived early got a space on the shaded grandstand here at the Dobsonville Stadium, and the grandstand is packed to capacity Most are reluctant to find a spot in the bright sunlight. It has been a toasty few days in the Gauteng province, and I think around the country, and that's to put it lightly.
Overly toasty. More than anything.
There's Reef Frosler. Didn't make the starting lineup for the Soweto derby. Konika preferred to him. Now, this is good work from Gabadini Mahango to get away initially from Spongzeni Mthethwa. Kaizer Chiefs have the ball back in their possession. This is Pule Mori. Sfiso Hlanti. Now Mori again. Taking on Phillips. And the ball across. Fended away by Vusi Sabia. Only as far as Pule Mori, as it's scooped in once again by Hlanti. Here's another that is back in the lineup for today, and that means Edmilson Dove is redeployed as a centre half for this afternoon's clash, with Titi Tlokwe out at the moment. The Botswana captain was on national team duty, played against Mozambique in a defeat they suffered, and then came off injured against Guinea. So he will be a big miss, because Ditlokwe had, prior to today, started every single league match for Kaizer Chiefs. A block tackle from Reef Frosler, and then Mthethwa gets stuck in. He gives away the free kick.
Straight on to the game plan. Ask questions, put pressure in the midfield, unsettle them. This is Mthethwa. Seconds late, and he commits a foul. Swallows get to regain the advantage. I fancy that man who scored a couple of great goals for Orlando Pirates, Gaba. Good technique. He's done so as well at Amazulu.
One goal in the league against Kaizer Chiefs previously. That came 4 years ago, in November 2019. Scored the equaliser to make it 2-2 before Kaizer Chiefs eventually went on to beat Orlando Pirates by 3-2. So has the taste of scoring against this side previously. Bruce Fuma in between the sticks for the first time this season. The last time he played was October last year in a draw against TS Galaxy. And Mahango goes for it. Not a bad effort at all.
Not at all. Technique-wise, spot on. Perhaps a little bit more Keller to it, but if it was on target, I don't see how the goalkeeper would have gotten to the end of that. Does it hit the corner? Yes, it does. That's how close it was. Good technique, Mahango. Now, we had great conversation lunchtime. At some point we'll get to talk about it, the wisdom of Kumlan Msibi. And great conversation lunchtime. You didn't miss out, Grant, because you were part of that.
Nice little touch from Chivaviro, and Pule Mori keeps it moving. Here's Frosler. Delivers into the area, away by Keegan Allen, whose last outing against Kaizer Chiefs was quite something. Young Keegan Allen, he got an assist for Bongani Sam's winner, as they have to deal with another ball in from Frosler. A bicycle kick assist, and then late in that game caught an elbow that had everyone watching on very, very worried. The defibrillator came onto the field, a couple ambulances. Eventually he was able to actually walk off himself, but for a moment there was a lot of anxiety.
That injury where there's an elbow, trust me, there's so much danger. I had a friend who was hit on the solar pads with an elbow, so that, you can imagine how dangerous it can be.
That's a little too heavy for Sfiso Hlanti. Kenan Phillips will take the resultant throw. He, along with Bongani Sam and Daniel Akpe, now starting for the 11th time this season in the league for Swallows, so they have begun every single DSTV Premiership match. Interestingly, for Kaizer Chiefs, the absence of Ditlokwe, as well as Edson Castillo, who's on the bench today, means that Yusuf Mart is the only player in the squad who has now started every single league match so far this season, the man who captains the side today. Jali cushions it forward for Makubela.
Hey.
Hlanti. It's closed down swiftly by Mabasa. Rather aimless ball forwards. Retrieved by Allen.
I like how his game has matured. He's played attacks. I've seen him play right back. He plays centre back.
Oh, he had to stretch for that. Did Andile Jali. And he presented an opportunity to Nkosipile Ngobo. Tried to take it on first time with Daniel Akpe off his line and not able to make the kind of connection that he wanted.
How does that happen? Well, give credit to Chiefs. The pressure was on.
Yeah, a slightly loose pass from
That's
Sabia.
the press. There are two jerseys. He should have punished such mistakes. This sort of mistakes.
Well, he hasn't scored for almost 2 years, has Ngobon, of course, over that period has suffered with injury. But last goal coming in a 2-0 win against Maritzburg in December of 2021. Yeah, I don't think you can really find Andile Jali at too much fault because the pass wasn't accurate enough.
He wasn't even ready for it.
Yeah.
But it's this sort of mistakes which you punish. And I've seen teams, Sundowns are the ones that normally punish such mistakes with some seriousness in terms of making sure that they register their presence, particularly any stages of the game.
So what can they do from the free kick? Delivered in by Ngobo. Touch off the head of Ed Milson, and it's just wide of the mark.
They've had their chances. Drilled in, tricky for defenders to deal with. To take a deflection along the way.
It's actually off the head of Phillips, yeah?
Yeah, it does.
Well, in their previous meeting, Kaizer Chiefs did get their goal against Swallows from a set piece. Mduduzi Shabalala was the man who delivered it in there, and Christian Saile managed to score. Saile on the park right now, Shabalala on the bench. There's Keegan Allen, a very composed player, but this time almost caught in possession. He's one of the reasons why Steve Kompela has been able to have his side building from the back, because of the ability that Allen does have. Comes from the school of Mamelodi Sundowns, of course. Ragativaviro threading it through, too much on it. Fomodi was making the run in behind.
Well, building up to the game, pre-match interview, the coach was saying we're going to build from the backs. That's Steve Kompela saying we are going to continue to build from the back. But I think at some point, players, you need to adjust and see the situation. And fine, Barry. You can see they still want to build from the back. They're not going to change. And then someone encroach, yes. Encroachment. That's why the referee is trying to talk to this big man, imposing figure.
As well spotted by Amungile Tom, because it does have a bearing ultimately.
Yeah, it does.
Even if he's got 1 foot inside the 18-yard area. Football these days in the professional ranks is a game of very, very fine margins. Sabia finds an outlet, and it's hooked over to Bungani Sam. Comes back inside looking for an option. Here's Daniel Akpe. Spent 3.5 seasons at Kaizer Chiefs. Played almost all their matches in that 2019-20 season when they came so close to winning the title. Now it has been given away to Saile. Still he continues on. Keegan Allen cuts it out.
confidence, right? You make this mistake, you get put under pressure, you're still confident enough to put it under control. That's Phillips in the box and still build from the back. Listen, when you get it wrong, it is sort of punishment. But I can tell you, with more repetition of this, you gain the confidence, you're able to do it. I've seen bigger clubs in the English Premiership, they perfected the craft. But this is how it starts. You can't play without the ball. You've got to have the ball all the time. You know, of course you've got to be aware.
Well, they were caught out against AmaZulu in late September, a game that they came from behind to win. Here's Daniel Agpay now. Richard Mart has won it quickly. So they were able to successfully bypass the first line of that press, but then dispossessed in the midfield, which I'm sure will aggravate Steve Kompela slightly. Here's Mtetwa, ball with Mori. Dispensed into the path of Hlanti. Set back from Mtetwa. Mtetwa has a crack. A man who still awaiting his first ever senior goal.
It's a good thing. It's good for television in terms of building from the back, showing confidence, but a bit of variation should be able to work, because you've got the two strikers. If you have Sekhukhune, you have Kapadino Mango, build from the back, but look out for those runs. They've got to be able to avail themselves. Just a bit of variation.
Out-swinging delivery. Well met. Retrieved here by Ed Milson. Back to Frosler. Modi to Ngobo. And that cross over the head of Given him Simango. It remained inside the opposition's 18-yard area. Jali for Sabir. Ndile Jali again, quickly out of his feet to Keenan Phillips. Now a little bit of space to work with. Phillips pings it forward. It's got too much on it for Gabadino Mahango, and the flag would have gone up in any case had he latched onto that.
And that's the variation I was talking about. Yes, build from the back, but you've got to get some options up front. The two strikers, Sekhukhune Mawasa and Gabadino Mahango. Now it's Chiefs' turn to build from the back.
Swallows have now gone 5.5 hours without conceding a goal in the DSTV Premiership. And during that period, they did concede against Richards Bay in the Carling knockout. But as far as the league is concerned, they have kept it very tight since they were punished by Ethan Brooks in that aforementioned game against AmaZulu. There's Sabir. Lifted forwards for Gabadino Mahango, putting pressure on Given him Simango.
They are very much aware that there's not too much space now. Swallows in the midfield, so that's why they're trying to go for that option that we're talking about, Gabadino Mahango. Not that he will do well aerially against Simango in terms of it's a mismatch. But there was a certain Simba Marumu. Aerially, short as he was, he could go high.
Well, Kaizer Chiefs this season have scored. That did look dangerous. Kaizer Chiefs have scored jointly the most headed goals in the league this season, along with Cape Town City. 42% of all of their goals have come from headers. Although the bulk of those have come from Edson Castillo, who's on the bench today. He's often made the runs late into the box undetected.
Can generate power as he goes up.
Yeah.
Strength is amazing.
Ranga Chivaviro continued to fight for that. A man who broke his duck for Kaizer Chiefs in the win against Cape Town Spurs at the beginning of this month. Ngobo to Frosler. Edge of the area is where Chivaviro is found. Now it's been set back for Hlanti. Falls into the path here of Mabasa, who has the strength to hold off his man initially, but it's with him Tetwa now.
Not so high a tempo, just very calculative in terms of the approach at this stage from both sides. There's so much congestion in that midfield, trying to cancel each other out.
Ken Phillips steps in. Swallows have the ball. Well, if they avoid defeat today, could go 6 league games without a loss for the first time since the 2020-21 season. That was their first season back in the top flight after promotion. There was a period late in the season where they went 11 games without defeat, although they drew 10 of those. There had been a period earlier in that same season, though, where they went 16 games unbeaten. Remember that remarkable run? That included 6 wins and 9 draws. Now Phillips dances past one, but can't get the better of Ngobo. Stabbed forward by Dove. Ngobo to Frosler. Edmilson inside the opposition half. Hlanti. Modi to Edmilson. The Kaizer Chiefs this season have attempted more passes than any other team. They also have more successful passes than any other side. Of course, that figure slightly skewed because of the fact that Mamelodi Sundowns have played far fewer games. But you do have to wonder why perhaps they haven't turned that into a few more attacking opportunities, as Sfiso Hlanti wins it back in a dangerous area. Nodded down by Keenan Phillips and then struck towards goal. Wide of the mark. Chivaviro looking to stick it away at the near post.
Better. When I say better, because if you look at the options in the box, Saile was right in the box and Chivaviro had made himself an option in terms of engaging. That's the sort of variation that you'd want to see with the 2 strikers. They're not scared. They're going to continue to build from the back. If it backfires, the coach will say, okay, just be away next time.
Yeah, you've got to have nerves of steel. And Daniel Akpe allowed Ngobo to actually get quite close to him as Abongile Tom signals that there will be a water break. Unsurprising considering the heat here in excess of 30 degrees.
Now, great conversation we had during our lunch with the great Phumlani Msibi, and putting pressure on certain players who wear certain numbers that are important. This young man wears jersey number 12. He hasn't been a regular in the team, Ngobo, and this is what Phumlani was saying. There is no way, you've never seen jersey number 12 being on the bench at Kaizer Chiefs. And that was Ace in Swelengwe. So was jersey number 11, was never on the bench. Jersey number 50, never on the bench. So how do you get to be on the bench? That's putting pressure, because you've got to understand the history of the jersey that you're wearing.
And of course, Ngobo burst onto the scene with so much promise. Injuries have curtailed some of that momentum that he had initially. But yeah, given a real chance here under Kevin Johnson since he arrived, showing some faith in him.
He says something profound, and I will put it in the words of the great Khomane. He says, we need to have some flavor about us, some flavor about our play. And I think he was saying it referring to the likes of Ngobo, who's left-footed. And when I say flavor, the Kasi flavor, may his soul rest in peace, Khomane played with some flavor. And that's what they're asking for. Jersey number 15, of course, this is on the Swallows side. They will continue to build from the back. The confident Andile Jali, so well positioned there, passed by the big man. Sibia wasn't ready, I think, for that. He still tried to give instructions. This is the moment where I thought somehow I should do better in situations where they won possession, Chiefs. Punish the opponent. Yeah. But the confidence from Swallows as well. Not clearing right away.
Well, that last highlight that we saw, we'll get back to that, is Chivaviro picks it up inside the 18-yard area, well defended by Keegan Allen. I was watching the first assistant, who was ready to raise his flag, thinking that perhaps Ngobo would touch the ball, but he actually left it there for Saile, which was clever, as Mori lifts it in. Now drops for Frosler. Yusuf Mart. Good skills from Mart. Flings it in with his left. Ntetwa. He can't make his way forward. Picked up by Mori. Hlanti. Lifted forward for Mori. Tetwa's cross. Won't reach Frosler. Yusuf Mart cuts it out. Yusuf Mart! More than capable from outside the area. This time he's dragged his shot wide.
Don't talk about outside the area. Ponchan is watching this. Of course, this was not too far off, but left-footed. He's got back full of tricks, but at the same time he could vary his play. He could go direct. Big engine in him. They're happy. He's back. Ntako. If Compella protected him at some point, Coach Peter Msima, they had a go at him.
Oh, look at this, Brian. Again, Akpe inviting trouble.
They're confident. They'll keep doing it.
Marta Frosler is on the move. Christian Saile will let Akpe get there first. He's had to venture outside of his area, and he's been able to avert the danger. There was a little tug on the shirt from Vusi Sibia as Saile got away from him. There's the Premier.
Dress for the occasion. I think when he's at the ground, he says, I'm not a Premier, I'm a Sundowns man. But of course, we'll observe the protocol. That's the Premier. The man who was so instrumental in getting Swallows back in the Premier League. There was some crowdfunding at some point to try and make sure that Brand Swallows comes back. And yes, they are back.
Oh, they dropped down to the third tier at some point. Weren't promoted from it, had to buy the status of Maccabi, and then were promoted to the top flight in the 2019, that disrupted 2019-20 season. They reeled in Ajax Cape Town over the last run of fixtures. A brilliant upturn in fortune for the Dube Birds that season. And they kept Brandon Truter as Gabadina Mahango lays it off. Perhaps he should have taken on, gets another chance. Oh, save from Fuma. Well, some calamitous defending creates an opportunity for Gabadina Mahango. The game continues here, and it is still Mahango up against Ed Nielsen. He's been able to get it clear. Fast and furious. And speaking of furious, Chiefs players incensed with the referee.
It's the duo of Mabasa, Mahango, causing what One of the SABC bosses would say, Rao Rao. That's problems for you because they're so alert, they're so switched on. Both of them switched on. Look at this.
It's actually Charlie in both instances. And now...
this was a foul.
Yeah.
Definite foul. Mart pulls there. So they've taken the pressure themselves, Solus, in terms of wanting to build from the back. Chiefs want to try do that and put them under pressure as well. So far, I think the game plan from Coach Steve Compella seems to be working.
Yep. The former Arrows man seems to have a little bit of a problem. He was given a great opportunity to open the scoring. Not able to capitalize on it. Decent save from Bruce Khomane, has to be said.
Maswai Swai. These are the loyal supporters who always have an appointment with his players and for every fixture they have, particularly here at home.
A deep cross from Ed Milson, and Dilejali picks it up. Still a man light with Charlie off the park at the moment.
One for big occasions, Dilejali. It's good that he started off quite well. Remember the game where he was sort of geared for that. He got a red card. I think it was
Mamelodi Sundowns, yeah. That was in the MTN 8s in the quarterfinals. They still did really well though to, I guess, keep the scoreline down on that occasion, losing 1-0. But you really thought that would be the opportunity for him to have a huge performance against his former club. Here's Swisotlanti. His cross all the way to the opposite flank where Frosler tries to dig it out from under his feet. Be a goal kick. And whenever it is a goal kick, we wait with anticipation to see what will transpire in the coming moments. Steve Compella with instructions for Charlie, who's just been patched up. A little bit of blood leaking from his mouth. There's Keegan Allen has to scramble back and make the tackle on him. Tetwa immediately tossed into play here for Chivaviro. His touch not tight enough. And Dilejali goes lunging in after losing out there to Pule Modi.
Who's getting booked? Andile.
Yeah.
He got caught for pace there. And what he was trying to do was to make up.
So he'll be walking a tightrope now.
If he's up against smart players, they'll put him under pressure. You see, he was caught here because he exposed the ball too much. And Pule Modi caught up with him.
Oh, they finished to win the ball here.
The yellow.
Oh, it's going to be a yellow.
So the pressure is balanced. Two influential players.
Yeah.
You have Dilejali on a yellow, playing in a crucial role. So is this young man, Ngobo, meant to be the man that links up with the two strikers.
What a waste of a free kick from a promising position as well. Palani. Laid off for Phillips. Scooped forward by Shanti. Ends up with Daniel Akpe, now 37 years of age, but man, he's been really impressive for Swallows so far this season. One had put in a good shift against his former club as Yusuf Mart finds Modi. Edmilson back to Vuma, making his 28th start in the league for Kaizer Chiefs is Bruce Vuma. And over that series of matches, he's managed to keep 7 clean sheets. There's Vuma again. Measures his ball forward to Hlanti. Well, one in the air by Phillips. Nicked away by Ngobo. Modi. There's Makubela for company. Pule Modi now. Hlanti, Modi. Men waiting in the area. And that's really nicely defended. As Swallows look to get away through Gabadina Mahango. Had the attentions of Mtetwa. Lost the ball, then won it back, then lost it again. Now Christian Saile. Squares up to Bungani Sam. Cuts inside, still Saile to Hlanti. The fans not best pleased with that, but they're on the front foot once again here. Phillips has to turn it away for a corner kick.
And I understand why they're not pleased with that, because they were in an advantageous position to attack. And when Saile plays the ball back in a situation where they've added numbers forward, it doesn't help the situation.
Ngobo's previous corner was quite easily defended. Let's see what he can do here. That's a little better.
So the game plan on both sides was to try and put pressure and control the midfield. But as a result of that, you don't have a Ngobo that's able to supply your Rangachi Vavira, Saile as well. And the same applies to Swallows. You've got Gabadino Mahango, Sekhukhune Mawasa. They're not getting the supply because the battle has been in that midfield. At the same time, you don't have those sort of players that can find a runner. I also think that Saile is playing more as a winger, being in the strike force.
This ball upfield for Bruce Vuma. Kaizer Chiefs haven't kept a clean sheet in any of their last 8 games in all competitions since a 0-0 draw with Royal AM in mid-September. So he has his opportunity today, and it is a big chance to set himself apart. As Swallows get on the attack again. Defended by Hlanti. The feet of Mtetwa now. Ngobo dispossessed. As Andile Jani came steaming in. It's with Phillips. And Phillips has his cross cleared away by Msimango. Edmilson setting Ngobo on his way. Option in the form of Modi. Nicely done by Allen. A good pick up to find Sekhukhune Mabasa. leading goal scorer in the DSTV Premiership, half a dozen goals to his name, along with Kaizer of Cape Town City. Here's a look at the past stats up to this point. Kaizer Chiefs approaching 200 completed passes with an accuracy just above the 80% mark. Swallows behind them in that regard, but when they have been on the ball, especially in a more advanced area, they've looked to get it into those danger areas more quickly than their visitors have. And another opportunity here from Charlie. Off balance.
Was he claiming that he got fouled? I didn't think so. In fact, I think there was a handball on his part. Without anything. Nah, there was no way that could have been a foul. Coach Steve not happy? No.
Well, Steve Komphela's last win as an opposition coach against Kaizer Chiefs came in March of 2015. 1-0 win over Chiefs as coach of Maritzburg. He has an opportunity for Mango. He's dragged that woefully wide.
I thought this was a good opportunity to unlock the defense. They found him, made a good run on the left-hand side. An attempt to take a shot with his left foot. Maybe trying to kill it to the inside of his right foot would have been a better option. But hey, easier said than done. I'm on the commentary booth. He's in the box.
So 4 goal attempts apiece, 8 in total, and only one of those has actually hit the target. And that's the effort from Mchali that was saved by Vuma. Now Mtetwa. Spotting some space for Saile on the near side, not the best touch. And Bongani Sam has dealt with it quite comfortably. Sabir to Palane. Almost dispossessed by Frosler. Living dangerously as the veteran midfielder. Some skills from Sabir, you don't see that all too often. On the flank now, a tackle from Saile. Mtali has earned him a yellow card. Yep, took him off his feet. So Swallows with a set piece. They have an opportunity today to move from 5th to 4th. They could go above Lamont for Golden Arrows. Will be in action later today. They're at home to Cape Town City. So Charlie leaving it for Palani. He's drilled it in. Keegan Allen got something on that. Now Mtetwa has stolen it away from Charlie. He's gone for it. Oh! Close. There was another option. And Christian Saile, who was to the left of him, we might get an opportunity to see what a good position he was in over here and how much space he was in. It's just outside of your picture on the left. Has his arms up, asking the question, why did you not look for me? And Mtetwa is good at many, many things, but goal scoring has never been something he's known for. Anyway, worth an effort. We'd be singing a different tune if that had flown in. Good quick passing. That one goes astray though. Sabia run it down for Palani. Charlie now lifting it over the top, hoping to exploit the pace of Gabadina Mahango. Has put some Simango under pressure here. Quickly tossed back into play by Bongani Sam. Palani. Makubel. To Phillips. Keenan Phillips taking on Hlanti. Decent ball in. Well, no one really attacking that. So it's Kaizer Chiefs and Ngobo. Yusuf Mart. Swallows come into this game having won the last clash between these two sides. At the last time that they won successive games against Kaizer Chiefs was across 2008 and into 2009 when they won 3 in a row against Amakosi. So a long time since they've strung together consecutive victories against their Soweto rivals. Sam gets there ahead of Frosler. Long history between these two clubs dating back to 1971, where Swallows actually won the first league game between these two. 4-2 was the score that particular day, as it's worked out to Frosler, who has some space over the head of Saile. In terms of the PSL era though, since 96, 44 league matches between these two. Kaizer Chiefs have won 24 of them as compared to 8 for Swallows, and in the PSL era, Chiefs have only won more league games against Free State Stars and AmaZulu. They've only scored more goals against AmaZulu since 96. "75 goals that they have against AmaZulu and 70 that they've managed to net against Swallows. It's usually a pretty high-scoring affair, this one. That call going in favour of Kaizer Chiefs. When I say it's a high-scoring affair as we enter into 4 additional minutes, because both teams have scored at least one in the last 5 clashes. 16 goals scored over that period. The last time either team was able to keep a clean sheet was the very first match between these two after Swallows were promoted. That was a 1-0 win at home for the Dube Birds in the 2021 season. The last time Chiefs kept a clean sheet against Swallows was in March of 2015 when they thrashed them 3-0. Oh, needing some attention again is Nchali. It's been in the wars. Steve Compella mentioning the last time he got a win as the opposition coach against Kaizer Chiefs was early in 2015. He was then head coach of Maritzburg United. 1-0 victory coming courtesy of a goal from the Zimbabwean Kumbulani Banda. Only goal he scored in South African football, a late header against Chiefs to win that game. This is Ed Milson. Tetra in space. Frosler. Noble receiving from Saile. Frosler again. Good strength shown by Chivaviro. And good skill. Tetwa now. Slung upfield by Vuma. Mori in pursuit. A little bit of pressure on Sabir. Stumped this high. Into the final minutes of a 4 additional. Now Chiefs have an opportunity from a quick throw-in. Noble was the man to loop it into the box. It's collected here by Yusuf Mart. The whistle imminent. Mart pings it along. Frosler the intended target. Just can't bring it down neatly enough, and that should be it for the first half here at the Dobsonville Stadium. Phillips gives himself too much work to do. And there is the whistle from Mr. Abongile Tom, signaling the end of the first half. And a boiling hot Dobsonville Stadium. Has been hard work out there. And Bruce Fuma, his first start since October last year, and hasn't had all too much to do in this opening period. One save that he made from the solitary shot that's been on target over the course of the opening 45 minutes that came from Linekuhle Mchali. Daniel Akpe's had a few worrying moments, mostly of their own making, with Moroka Solos persisting with playing out from the back. But as they hit the half-time break here, it's now 6 hours that the Dube Birds defense has gone unbreached in the DSTV Premiership. The last time they conceded in the league at the end of September, just on the stroke of half-time against AmaZulu. So we are all set up for what should be a really intriguing second 45 minutes in this Soweto derby. It is Swallows 0, Kaizer Chiefs 0.
It's Betway Pamba 13 jackpot time.
Julia just needs one more result from 13 games. If she gets this last one right, she'll score 250,000 rand. Let's see.
Oh!
Come on!
Yeah!
Yes! Woo! Now that was a nail biter. Julia Ibambile. All thanks to Betway.
Congrats.
Quality means everything to us. Our blend of Irish grain and selected single malt whiskies are triple distilled to give you that extra smooth taste that only Proper 12 delivers. We're not here to take part. We're here to take over. Proper 12 Irish whiskey, triple distilled, rich, smooth taste. These are the best tasting burgers money can buy. 100% pure beef, and at 160 grams, they're bigger than most. Our master grillers grill our burgers on grills made to grill burgers for that unmistakable 350-degree flame-seared flavor. It's a South African legend. The steak, ribs, and burger people. Spur, people with a taste for life.
Fresh. Fresh. There's something fresh about fresh, isn't there?
Waking fresh, feeling fresh, with ideas as fresh as fresh.
Finding fresh, picking fresh, packing fresh.
Delivering fresh, easy.
A fresh way to shop, pick, and pay. Just tap, tap, ASAP.
Here we go. Check these guys. Let's show them how it's really done. I see it. Let's have a
your feet like this.
Let's see how you play.
Move your feet like this.
Who wants McDonald's?
No.
It's half-time at the Dobsonville Stadium in the DSTV Premiership in the Soweto Derby. No goals between Moroka Swallows and Kaizer Chiefs. Well, 9 goal attempts here. 1 shot on target for Swallows, none for Kaizer Chiefs, who have dominated ball possession with the 56% against the 44% of Swallows FC. There, of course, here 3 yellow cards in this game. But Moroka Swallows, they're playing from the back. We'll look at their build-up, but let's look at the highlights, starting with this chance that fell for Gabadinho Mango for Moroka Swallows from the set piece. Jimmy.
He was always going to be vital for Swallows, that is Mhango, because he's deadly in front of goal when it comes to standard situations. And you can see how close this was in terms of just hitting the back of the net. But I think on this one, this is one of those moments that she's got lucky.
I say Moroka Swallows, these build-ups, Steve spoke about it, so close to being punished by Ngobo.
Of course, when you're starting this sort of system, some of the players might not adjust as quick as possible. The occasion itself, you're likely to be put under pressure. And if you lose it, you're likely to get punished. And that's what they've been attempting to do. But they haven't stopped, probably, because that's been the brief to say build from the back. But I always say sometimes vary it a little bit because you've got the options up front, Jimmy.
From the set-piece situation then, Amazing Jova gets close. A ball played into the box by Santi. And he's the one, you'll look at this again and see, maybe it should have been a corner kick.
Yeah, no, great delivery. I think just the numbers in front of the box just made it difficult for the official, obviously, to see who the last touch came from.
Swallows continue to pile on the pressure. This is at a time when the assistant referee's flag was up. It was explained then that there was no offside. They took the throw in quickly. Vuma makes a good save.
And it's a rare moment, and I think this is the sort of moment where you've got to capitalize on. Chiefs were disorganized at the point. You've got to try and punish such mistakes.
They've got the numbers in this situation here. Moroka Swallows, they would feel they could have done better.
Yeah, they could have done better. Again, they get another standard situation. Chiefs deals with this one, gets the lines cleared. But look at Andre Lejali, the complacency there. Instead of just clearing his lines, he gambles. He loses possession and he was nearly punished in the process.
by umthetho, of course. Open goal for him. Jali tries to control, miscontrols. This was a chance for Kaizer Chiefs.
It was definitely a chance, and I think somehow he becomes the weakest link, Jali, because he's a little bit slow, so they try and put him under pressure. But when you win the ball in the midfield, that's where you actually need to make use of it and at least force the save out of the keeper, even if it means punishing the opponent.
Yeah, and the basic in that instance is that after the corner kick has been cleared, the best thing you can do is to try and pile it back into where the numbers are. The moment you try and control, you are inviting pressure, and that's exactly what Jali had to go through in that instance.
Earlier on in the game, you saw Nsako Makhubela, he was injured, he got attention, he's back playing. You saw Mchali also being injured deep into the first half. Moroka Solos may have been forced to make the changes. They haven't made any changes. They have sufficient quality, though, in terms of that on the bench that can come in and affect their game positively. I don't know if they're considering Zuma, maybe Malinga. What about Kaizer Chiefs? Will they be contemplating any changes?
I think the answer in front of goal has not yet been found. So I think when you look at the bench, they also don't have an out-and-out striker, considering they already have Saile and Chivavaro in front. So I think they're a bit depleted when it comes to options in front of goal.
I also think that two strikers, they're too far apart. You have two of them out of the box. So if you've got a box, if you are Santi on the left-hand side, you don't have an option to play the ball to whoever who's in the box. You have two of them that are out of the box. And for me, it cannot work that way. You've got to at least have an option in the box. Saile, you find him on the right-hand side. I'm not too sure where he's playing because it denies the opportunity for crosses to be played into the box.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. And I think because he sits on the line, it doesn't give Frostline enough time to actually move up. And I think the closer he gets to Chivavaro, it will make Swallows' defensive duties to be doubled up, because for now they're only dealing with Chivavaro.
It's also been a half where we have hardly seen Umabasam, who is the leading goal scorer. So Moroka Solos have to do more to find the balls that can make him to find the back of the net. No goals here at the Dobsonville Stadium in the DSTV Premiership. We're back with the second half after this.
New York City, so much more than a city, a way of life. The home of Cruz Vodka, where raw ingredients get distilled down to reach the top of the world, 5 times to be exact. That city that never sleeps, that vintage black. Pure New York in a bottle. Cruz, vintage black.
Our fuel goes in mummy cars and yummy cars. It goes in cars that carry people and in cars that carry cars that carry cars. So no matter what you drive, ride or fly, we have the right fuel for you. Choose Astron Energy Core-Tech fuel for your drive today. 4-in-1 technology in every drop for every engine. With over 850 forecourts in the next few years, we are South Africa's next biggest fuel brand. Welcome to Astron Energy.
May fortune be in your favor with World Sports Betting's Spin and Win promotion. You could drive away in one of 9 Polo Vivos and win a share of 12 million Rand in instant prizes. Earn a free spin on our virtual wheel daily when you bet 5 Rand or more. Visit wsb.kazer and get spinning. World Sports Betting, your one-stop gaming destination. Bet with the best.
Welcome back, and today we tackle the thorny issue of advantage. Cooks. Yes, Potty, obviously when you're playing in the car category, paying less on your insurance is a huge advantage. Like Samantha, who pays just 384 Rand per month on a Ford Figo. It's an advantage. Samantha.
Oof, great analysis, Cooks. So there you have it, folks. If you want to play advantage, call 08600 60,000 and pinch those high car insurance premiums.
Royal Flush Gin, 5 times distilled, French luxury.
Look at that.
My galaxy! My awesome screen. My awesome camera. Long-lasting. Battery life. My awesome screen. My awesome camera.
Long-lasting battery life.
Awesome. Awesome.
Awesome is for everyone.
Swallows against Kaizer Chiefs. Nothing to separate these two sides after 45 minutes. Just a single shot on target over the course of that opening period. That went the way of Swallows. Kaizer Chiefs tried their luck twice from range. First through Nkosibile Ngobo, who was quite some way wide of the mark, and then again later in the period, Sibongiseni Mthethwa with an effort from miles out that drifted just wide of Daniel Akpe's goal. And of course, we continue to mourn the loss of Papi Khomane. Brian Maite, you yourself were extremely taken aback to hear the news. You made a real-time reaction at the beginning of this match, because you hadn't seen up to this point, of course, the sad passing of the former Pirates captain.
Yeah, like I said, very emotional for me. Not just a loss, but I think to the family, Braskipa, A-Step. It's a big loss. I was very close to Papi, father, you know, and I think as a captain of Orlando Pirates, one of the youngest, great ambassador of the game, great conversations that we've had. It's a big loss. Yeah.
Well, the tributes have been pouring in. There's Wasim Isaacs, who scored a goal against Kaizer Chiefs in a losing cause in the first match, basically the corresponding fixture last season here at the Dobsonville Stadium, a match in which the now departed Caleb Biminimana and injured Keegan Dolly had given Chiefs a 2-0 lead before the break. Isaacs pulling one back with about 20 minutes to go. Ultimately, they went on to lose that match, though. There have been some really entertaining tussles between these two since Swallows were promoted back to the top flight. I'm talking about the fact that in the last 5 matches that they've played, both teams have scored, and there have been 16 goals. Now, Kaizer Chiefs on the front foot early in this half, with Sifiso Hlanti measuring in across, and at the back post, it's been met by Christian Saile. Well, he was a man who equalized when Swallows opened the scoring in what was their last meeting. Also then at the back post, he managed to smuggle it home with his feet. This time doesn't get a touch on the ball. It's Bongani Sam who turns behind at the expense of a corner.
Well, it's a great cross, but only 2 players in the box here marked it. And Saile, I think they can add more numbers in there. I think on the left-hand side, they need to try and encourage Hlanti to go more forward.
In swinging corner from Ngobo. Hlanti was close. Ngobo has it again. Pulimori on the turn, straight into the shins.
I mentioned those things about the 2 strikers.
Ping towards Slanty, back across. Andile Jali will get it clear.
And the reason I'm saying this is there has been, and I wish they could get them to watch the previous videos of combination of Shane McGregor and Fanny Madida as strikers forward, how they made the runs. The other one goes onto the near post, the other one goes onto the far post. So Gardner Siale had an option, Trevor Timkulu had an option on the right-hand side. That's been how Chiefs played. Even when there was Knowledge Musona, it was like that. When there was Max Maponya, it has been the culture.
Well, it's funny you mentioned Shane McGregor. He, along with Skaratindwa, are the two leading scorers for Chiefs in matches against Swallows. Both netted 8 goals against Swallows in the late 80s into the early 90s. Swallows leading scorer against Chiefs, Calvin Peterson, with 6 over the same period. Now an opportunity for him, Charlie. Good tackle from him, Tetwa. Ngobo will come away with it.
Said that.
You mentioned Mark Maponyane as well. I mean, he scored in that JPS final back in 1986 for Chiefs against Swallows that they ultimately won 2-1 on aggregate. This is a fixture with a long history and some very entertaining matches down the years. And that trend has continued in recent times since their reintroduction to the top flight.
Like they say, it's work in progress.
Yeah, true. Another name you mentioned, Fanny Madida, who played for Chiefs but had a stint as Swallows interim coach as Chiefs are on the front foot again. Interesting stats is that the last time that Swallows actually opened the scoring in a home match in the league and went on to lose was all the way back in 2014, where Lerato Shabangu and Felix Obara had them 2-0 up, and Tux went on to score 3 goals in that match. And I mention that because, as Frosler sings this in, Swallows have a very good recent record of managing to win games when they do net the opening goal. And for now, they're under pressure. They have been for the first 4 minutes of this first half. Breaks kindly here for Edmilson. It's not the best cross.
There's good memories about this fixture. There's expectation in terms of goals. There's expectations in terms of personalities that would take responsibility to say it's time now to make things happen.
Jarred the ankle as he tried to control that one, Mabasa. And there have been finals that these sides have met in down the years. And McGregor got 3 across 2 legs in the 89 League Cup, the JPS final.
Radio was big. I remember listening to one of those finals.
Yeah.
On a trip, on a train, and listening to the radio. Score was 5-4.
Oh, look at this for pace. Oh, needed to show more composure there. Rangachiva Vero was in space and open. Christian Saile done all the hard work, and as he got to the byline, put far too much pace on that ball in.
Well, apart from that, I think he just played the cross without looking at, aiming at Pule Modi. Was it Pule Modi that he was trying to play the ball to? Because Pule was on the far left-hand side. But it's one of those runs. There were 2 players inside the box. Ranga had gone to the near post. Pule was lacking on the far side.
So he waited a bit, but eventually calls in favour of Swallows. Now an opportunity for Gabadini Mahango, cracks it from range. Ngobo. Edmilson. Saile to Modi. Hlanti. Saile up against Bongani Sam. Sam, who scored the winner the last time these two sides met. By then, the scoring was done by the 33rd minute. All 3 goals in that 2-1 win from Swallows came in the first half. And it was such an important win for them. Their third last game of the season. They were several points clear of the relegation zone, but still mathematically in danger of the drop. But that win against Chiefs ensured that their status would be saved. And then they continued to win. They put together a 4-game winning streak as Morty ghosts in. Morty saved by Akpe.
That's a player that's got an appetite, intelligence. Pule Modi. That's when you thought, it's a good pass. And he pounces because Keegan got too casual.
Yeah.
Wasn't too much aware of the whereabouts of Modi. That's a sniper's one. Unlucky. Good move from Chiefs.
Keegan Ellens appeared to be completely unaware that there was someone on his shoulder. And Modi manages to get another Chiefs effort on target. So they've had 3 in the second half, and 2 of them have been on target.
You mentioned a player who was very good at punishing such mistakes. Khomane goal. If you make a mistake and just leave it there in the box, most of his goals were just in the box.
Scored a crucial goal against Swallows in the 87 Olsen Cup final. A match in which Skaratindwa got a brace. Mike Mangena was on the score sheet for Swallows that day.
One man that was lethal, Skaratindwa. Lethal, great power that right foot.
Yeah. Nicely done by Mtetwa. Now Ngobo. Lovely turn. Ngobo gets away from Andile Jali. He's looking to set Modi on his way. And Akpe quickly off his line.
That's more like it. Yes, Kaizer Jr. Appreciate that. And I hope Ngobo does more of that. And to release his players, because he's playing in a role more than number 10 role, where he's going to find Modi, he's going to find Saile. You know, Kawabira, he's going to find those players. That's a pass with a solution there. Just get to the end of it. Good goalkeeping there, sensing the danger.
Ngobo's trying to find his touch, trying to find his range. You feel like had the chance that was presented to him very early in the match where he tried to score from range come now, he might have been sticking that away.
Whatever the conversation in the dressing room, it is out because there's some sense of urgency.
Now, how about this? A former Chiefs man coming on to face his former side. 10 minutes into this second period. Could he be the difference maker?
I also think that he needs to make more runs on the right-hand side.
So the change, we'll see Gabadini Mahango make way. A player who grazed the woodwork with a free kick early in this match. That's arguably as close as either side have come. Yes, both goalkeepers have had to make a couple of saves. But in terms of an effort that was more likely to break the deadlock. That was the one. Mango's off. Dumisani Zuma on.
He's got that ability to come in and make a difference, Zuma, on a good day. I've seen him do that when he was still part of Chiefs.
Well, it's his 7th appearance off the bench in the league this season for Dumisani Zuma, and what is his 8th appearance overall. So has been mostly used as an impact player, just the one start. There's Mchadi. First touch for Zuma has created 5 chances across his 7 previous appearances this season. Oh, it's not the best connection. And Mtetwa will get it away for Kaizer Chiefs. Keegan Allen, touchdown to Keenan Phillips. Johnny to Phillips. Lifted forward cleverly for Tsako Makobela. Zuma down inside the area. Will be a goal kick.
Were they hoping for a corner, Swallows? I didn't think so. Nah, that's not foul. Didn't have a good center, the Orlando Pirates. Tsako Makobela.
Yeah.
Struggled to settle there, but seems to be having his way or resuscitating his career under Coach Steve Compella, the man that gave him the chance.
He's played in all but one league match so far this season, Makobela. Given him Simango started the season as an ever-present player, but did find himself dropped, now back in the lineup.
In that role, there was a certain Tekoma Shamaite alongside Mulomwanda Umatoho, and that combination was very successful for Chiefs. And now you have Dogwe and him with that responsibility.
Kevin Simango has got a flick on that, and it's gone behind for a corner. Bruce Fuma, just a reminder, if you only joined us in the second half, that he's been installed for the first time this season and playing his first match since October last year when he conceded 2 in a 2-all draw with TS Galaxy at home. He actually started the first 3 games of last season, did Bruce Fuma, before eventually falling out of favour. Brandon Peterson about halfway through that campaign, establishing himself as the number 1. He's on the bench today, is Peterson. That corner really drilled in. It seemed like it was difficult to deal with. No ball's giving it away here to Charlie. Palani. Ngani Sam all the way back to Phillips. So Kaizer Chiefs looking to make a change here. Not because of the injury to Givenu Simango, they'll be hoping that he, of course, can continue on. But they will be making an attacking alteration. Yes, just a look at why Simango is struggling. So we can confirm for you that Ranga Chivaviro has made way for Jason Gonzalez. Gonzalez, the 24-year-old from Colombia, who's appeared 3 times in the league since his arrival at Kaizer Chiefs. He's still waiting for his first goal. Scored at an average of about a goal every 2 games for previous club Real Santa Cruz. So he was playing in Bolivia before joining Kaizer Chiefs.
You know, Colombia had one of the great players that played for Newcastle. Just testing him. You know him, right?
Tino, yeah. One of my favorites.
One of your favorites. That's with an A.
Yep. That's the Tino Espria.
Yeah.
One of the most interesting characters in world football.
Great player. What a character. I saw him at the Newcastle game that day too. What a colorful personality.
That was during the era when Newcastle were last playing in the Champions League before, of course, this season.
Yeah.
Had a memorable outing against Barcelona.
So people know that we don't space out of this football thing. That's pretty. There we go.
Makubela was dispossessed. There was Keenan Phillips who was making tracks on his outside. He's now left a gaping hole on what is the left-hand flank for Kaizer Chiefs. Andila Jali's trying to fill it, but Yusuf Mart's been located. It's a mad scramble inside the 18-yard area of Swallows. Eventually the whistle goes in their favor, and that could have gone horribly wrong for them.
Things are happening. Things are promising for Chiefs on the left-hand side. Pulemodi in the thick of things. Things are happening.
He threw himself. No real complaints from Yusuf Mart, has to be said.
I think you understand that as a fair challenge. I thought it was.
Well, it all originated from the fact that Ntako Makubela maybe took it on a little too much in the center of the park. He had options, especially on his right-hand side, that he didn't use, and having not used Keenan Phillips, they then went and exploited the area that he'd vacated. Milson gets away with that one. Slantina. Oh, Ngobo is hauled down, and the referee hasn't seen anything wrong with that. It's always perhaps been the one issue that Nkosibile Ngobo has had, is that he's a little slight of frame. He did come back from that lengthy year-long injury looking just a little physically stronger, but of course your frame is your frame. But he is such an elegant player.
I once had a conversation with one football administrator, and I was talking about him. I said, someone needs to lock him or put him in a room and get Sheikh's Khomane's videos and let him watch those, because he's a left-footed player, educated left-foot, passes
that low center of gravity,
passes that he can play, and that's what I think he needs, so that he understands the role that he's playing. And this particular side, there's so much potential, but someone needs to bring that out of him. He might not realize it himself, but there's big shoes to fill, particularly when you have this educated left foot, but he's not consistent, as you say.
And then again, perhaps with Sheikh's ever so slightly lower center of gravity, even though they both do have and a little more robust in the way that he was built.
He was arrogant, purely put. He was just one of those players that had this confidence, this aura of presence, didn't care who you were, had a go at all of us, you know, because he demanded the ball. He wanted to have the ball, and he had a great rapport with the strikers in terms of expectations, in terms of where he's going to be playing the ball. Not too sure if the strikers are having that sort of conversation with the midfielders in terms of preferences, in terms of the passing. Is he worried that his Chiefs is not scoring?
Zuma slipping it through nicely. Oh! Well, appreciating the pass to him was Makubela, who's turned it over Bruce Vuma's goal.
Good 10. Well set up. Wrong, just needed to hit the target. Appreciates that supply.
Throwing goes away of Kaizer Chiefs. They come into this game having lost their last 2 league games on the road. Their last 3 away games in all competitions. In the PSL era, haven't lost 4 successive games. So potentially a little bit of unwanted history for them. And you just consider that last season, especially towards the middle point onwards, they had done so well. They lost their first 3 away from home, and then they lost just 3 of their next 16 on the road in all competitions in the previous campaign. But haven't enjoyed their travels of late. Here's Ngobo. Firm pass to find Modi. Goes down under the challenge, but they continue to play here. Saile looking to burst through. Tetwa, nice touch. Solos, on the other hand, unbeaten in their last 3 home games. Have a chance to record successive home victories for the first time this season. Their last home game was a 1-0 win over TS Galaxy.
Well, the difference between the 2 teams, I mean, you have Chiefs who always have demands from their fans for more success, whereas Salos, it's more fans having accepted that they need to be repackaged, they need to go on and play well. There was a point where under Brendan Tucker they had a successful season.
Yeah.
You know, and now you can see things are beginning to blossom. The beds are beginning to fly in a good position. Chiefs, on the other hand, high expectations, still struggling. The position doesn't look decent for a club of this magnitude.
Bruce Vuma organizes his defense. Looking for what would just be his 8th clean sheet in the league. And what is his 28th league start for Kaizer Chiefs. Good header away by Given Simango. Swallows actually have a very interesting record at home to fellow Gauteng sides since they were promoted back to the top flights. As Edmilson Dove gets himself away from Mabasa. And Tetwa smuggles the ball clear of Makupela. That's excellent. But yeah, Brian, since they came back to the Premiership, Saile puts it in. That's just past the uprights. What do they say? Goal kick. Despite the fact that Gonzalez is calling for a corner.
You know, I'm a big fan of Sibia. How he reads the game as a centre-back. He's just positioning, his intelligence. He's such a towering figure, imposing figure in that, and he communicates quite well. Very commanding.
So here we go, Solos looking to play out from the back. Chiefs not pressing with as much urgency as they were in the first half. Phillips has given that away cheaply. Yusuf Mart sliding it through for Pule Mori. Well won, Zuma. Tracked by Mori. Well, I'll finally get to that point, Brian. Since promotion, Swallows have won just once at home against Gauteng sides. That was in their first meeting with Kaizer Chiefs after being promoted. Joseph Mhlongo scoring a goal in their meeting in 2020. That was actually their first match against the Gauteng side after being promoted. Since then, they are winless in 22 matches against teams from the same province coming to Dobsonville. That's, of course, Pirates, Sundowns, Supersport. Yeah, they do. Fellow Gauteng side's far too comfortable here, it seems. Mtetwa steals it away, but doesn't fall for an opponent, or for a teammate, rather. Thumped forward by Hlanti, too long.
A certain Benny McCarthy would tell us that he also made history on this very ground and scored a beautiful goal against Swallows. Vital goal for that matter, because I think they went on to win.
Oh! So, Yusuf Martz comes in to win the ball. At least that's what he's claiming. Ball in hand. That's Amongile Tom.
Question is,
doesn't see it. Yeah, he doesn't see it the same way.
Fair and square. Was it? What did he do? Was there an elbow out?
This will tell us. What do you think? Shoulder to shoulder initially? Does he really impede him that much?
Shoulder to shoulder, for me, I don't think that was a foul. Honestly, I don't think so. But hey, I always say the man is near the action. We just have the luxury of the replays as well. Well,
whether you agree with the call or not, Swallows have a wonderful opportunity here from a free kick. It's nicely positioned.
For a left
central, but not too central.
I think for me, it's best suited
for a left footer.
I think Mabasa could go for it.
It's about 24 yards out from goal. It's a great distance.
Naturally, you'd expect the left footer to go for it and play it onto the right-hand side of the keeper. But then someone could defy the odds and play it with his right foot onto the left side of the keeper. Bruce Bavuma. That is Bruce Bavuma.
He's 28 years of age now, a player who emerged from Kaizer Chiefs development. Amongile Tom just sorting out the wall, not the Kaizer Chiefs wall, but the modern trend, of course, of now that you can't put players in the opposition wall, of assembling a wall in front of theirs.
I'm saying best suited for a left footer. But if there's a Zuma there, he could go.
So Zuma steps up and tries to deceive Vuma. That's not where you would have expected him to go. Doesn't look to lift it over the wall.
I also think his positioning, if he wanted to do that, is always going to be very tricky. Way off target. Another change is about to happen.
Yeah.
Chiefs. Wholesale changes. Skillful players who are about to come on potential for goals. Options. Strength on the left-hand side.
Keenan Phillips has to come in and help out. By the way, Brian, 5 direct free kicks have been scored in the DSTV Premiership already this season, so we're seeing a little bit of an uptick in that regard, because there were only 7 across the whole of the last campaign. Gabadina Mahango who's since departed. His solitary league goal in the this season against Cape Town Spurs in August was that free kick effort. And so perhaps he would have been the man to take it had he still been on the park.
Yeah, and I think maybe there has to be some form of survey that is done. I think the fans tend to do it quite well because there's expectations when there's a set piece that is about to be taken. And we've spoken about Kabadinho Mhango that does that. There is Mukwena that I always have expectations when Sundowns have got it.
Right, yeah.
There's some Pokekara that I used to have expectations whenever there's situations like this.
Yeah, Zuma. Njali, first time ball forwards. Cut out by Mtetwa, given away very cheaply to Zuma. Makubela. Jali again. And Zuma, that's good. Now he's gone down inside the box, says Tekfaso Mabasa. The Kaizer Chiefs are tearing up the other end. Sayile with the pace. Gonzalez waiting in the middle. Mori's joined the attack. Dule Mori! It looked to be drifting wide. Keenan Phillips wasn't sure.
Great move. Good pace about it. Good improvisation from Saile. And a foul that I'm sure is going to get booked. I like how the referee takes control. So it's easy. Easy. I'm in charge of the situation. I've seen what happened. Easy, easy. That's not even Tetra. He dived there. We're not going to interpret.
I hope you can't lip read, yeah.
This was a move. I think as a team they defended because they were bypassed. Phillips on the right hand side, here's the ball.
So a change for Swallows with Ntako Makubela withdrawn, and last season's top scorer Kagiso Malingo did start the previous game, is now on for the final 10 minutes or so. So two changes now made by Swallows, and for Kaizer Chiefs, they will be making their first alteration, as indeed Mpongoseni Mtetwa has been booked. We didn't think he was going to escape. Kevin Johnson. And has introduced Castillo here for Koskubile Ngobo. Actually, Palane packs one of the most powerful shots in the league. And as it was repelled, he made the challenge on Saile and picks up a yellow card. So both he and Andile Jali, now operating in the middle of the park for Swallows, have yellows. Heading in the final 10 minutes, he will actually miss the next game, well, Palane. So he will not be present for their next derby, which comes early next month against Orlando Pirates. That's a big miss.
But it's also a big decision now for a technical team, because you've got two influential players in that midfield who are sitting on yellow cards.
We also saw that there was a point where we thought Kaizer Chiefs were going to make a double change, with Happy Mashiani making his first appearance of the season. He hasn't earned minutes since May in the previous campaign. He has use of Mark. The ball was given away cheaply. Oh, Mark with the good pass. It's been stuck away by Christian Saile inside the final 10 minutes. Kaizer Chiefs take the lead. Dobsonville Stadium explodes.
It's the Tembisa branch who are showing their happiness. It is football made easy. Unselfish. on the left-hand side, when they win possession, he has been attempting to become the provider, Christian Saile, but he becomes the goal scorer. They can't believe it, the fans, but yes, it is this man that has been trying to become the supplier. They're not happy, Swallows, Grant, because they conceded in a situation where I thought they were beginning to show dominance. But we'll see this. Look at the class, but look at the defenders. 3 defenders on 1 man. Drawn onto the near posts. They lost possession. Trying to build from the back, intercepted. And look at the pass, because they were all ball watching. They went onto the one side. Forgot that man, Christian Saile. And he shows his class and he finished, make it looking easy. But great awareness from Chiefs.
Well, smiles all around in the Amokosi dugout and indeed in the stands. Christian Saile with his 3rd goal of the season. He scored what was the de facto winner in their only victory over the past 5 games. The 3rd goal for Chiefs in a 3-2 win against Cape Town Spurs, in which the Cape South threatened to come back. And he might just have the winner this afternoon once again. Kaizer Chiefs last season, in the 15 instances that they scored first, went on to win 11 of those games. They lost 2 though, so they were susceptible to dropping points when they had gone ahead. But this season, they have not dropped points yet in the league when in a winning position.
Some happiness displayed there by the Chiefs fans.
Well, yes, it's been 2 weeks since they last played because of the international break, but they come into this game on the back of that 1-0 defeat to Orlando Pirates. And if you look at the last 5 instances that they've lost a league game to Pirates, what was their next league result? More often than not, they do get a positive result. It wasn't the case the last time they lost to Pirates before 2 weeks ago. That was back in January of 2021. They lost their next league game to AmaZulu. But in the 4 games prior, or the 4 instances prior to that, dating back all the way to 2012, in which they had lost a league game to Pirates, they won 3 of those games and they drew 1. So they do have a history in recent times of bouncing back from a defeat to the Buccaneers with a positive result. There's Castillo. Well, he came onto the park and he might not have necessarily contributed to the goal, but it was scored almost immediately after his introduction. A word as well, and it might seem fairly inconsequential when you consider the work of Yusuf Mart to intercept and the ball he laid on and the finish from Christian Saile. But Jason Gonzalez was very clever. He was marked by 2 players. He could have controlled that pass. He left it.
It happens. Smart players, you draw 2 players out of position, creating an opening for Saile, who was running on that right-hand side. It looks too easy when you convert, but so much work was done by the teammates to set it up for him. As you mentioned, Mark to play it on the far side. The run that was made.
Johnny. Phillips. Oh, Keenan Phillips trying to return the ball to Andile Jali, intercepted by a very alert Yusuf Mart. Just takes one moment. He got lucky initially with a strange touch, and then it all went wrong. All went pear-shaped.
I think the biggest mistake, all those passes they were trying to get fancy about them. The little back heel and all that. Yes, the idea is to pull from the back, but you don't just play these fancy passes, back heel, just trying to get out of your zone.
Yeah.
Credit to Mark for interception.
And he's been having such a good season, Keenan Phillips.
Yeah.
Started every single game in the league so far this campaign.
He's a product of CT Spurs. He's central.
Originally Wits, and then super sort, Given an opportunity as a teenager to play senior football. Went to the Under-20 World Cup as well with South Africa. Well, will this dismal streak at home in derbies continue for Swallows? As Cheifs Mabasa now will miss the next match. Would he have been eligible to play against his parents' club? In any case, they'll be plugging a few gaps against Orlando Pirates. Amagosi fans now in full voice, hoping that Kaizer Chiefs can hang on here for a victory that would propel them into the top half of the table. And remarkably, if you consider the contrasting fortunes, relative fortunes of these two sides, they would be just 1 point behind Swallows if they retain their lead here. Good work from Teto to find Yusuf Mart. He stumped it forward where Castillo latches onto it. Now the bigwigs from both teams are mixing there in the executive suites. Contrasting emotions, although every face that we saw pretty reticent, not giving much away. The Motong brothers don't want to count their chickens just yet, as Dauron van Rijn comes on to make his 4th sub appearance of the season. The 25-year-olds. I think the yellow card might have gone to Reef Rossler there for a bit of time wasting. Keegan Allen gets it away, curl towards goal, hits the crossbar. Whistle had already gone. Kaizer Chiefs last keeping a clean sheet against Swallows in the season before they were relegated. That's back in 2015, a 3-0 win then. And Swallows actually have only won one league game at home against Kaizer Chiefs. The last 9 instances they've hosted them. Don't have a good home record against Chiefs, and history, and that trend continues, it seems, today, as Yusuf Mart will be stretched off here. I was just about to delve into the stats about 0-0 draws between these two sides, Brian. There hadn't been one for the last 16 fixtures between them, dating all the way back to 2010, but of course that goal from Christian Saile renders that null and void.
This picture is always providing some goals because the nature of type of football that, of course, it all started with the greats who wore the Chiefs jersey and the Swallows jersey. Great battles.
Shutting the back door now, by the way, with Modi and Mart off, and on comes Japula Ngobo, a hulking centre half, a former Swallows man who actually scored against Swallows for Kaizer Chiefs in his first season with Amakosi in what was eventually a 2-2 draw back in May of 2022. Happy Mashiani on for his first minutes of the season. That was another unbelievable game in a string of really good contests between these two sides. It looked like a little bit of a handball from Ray Castillo, looking to cushion it over the heads of Daniel Akte. Doesn't get enough on it.
Good intention, not the best execution.
Bruce Fuma scampers off his line to collect. Could he be heading for a clean sheet? Kept only one clean sheet in the 4 league appearances that he made for Kaizer Chiefs last season, did Bruce Fuma. We are about 90 seconds from the final whistle, Brian.
I guess when you Chiefs and the result hasn't been coming, it hasn't been the best of football that you played. When you win such games, it's important for the confidence to grind out a result. And that should add up to the confidence and the belief from the boys, and the coach was saying, I'm trying to ignite the Chiefs' way of playing. Of course, Atazwani would say the journey continues, because he also was talking about the Chiefs' way of doing things. But sometimes it's all about the results, and it becomes work in progress.
Happy Mashiani getting away from him, Charlie. And Mashiani can't pick out a teammate. He had 2 of the 3 players in the 18-yard area unmarked. Zed Nielsen thumps that away. This will be a last chance here for Swallows. Akte has to look long in a game in which Swallows have consistently built from the back. But Zuma, profiting from the second ball, he's seen his cross repelled. But they continue to retain possession here. And now given away. And it's Hasten Gonzalez in pursuit. Sabir into the final seconds of this match. Kagiso Malenga with an aimless ball that will run out. Christian Saile proving once again to be a match winner for Kaizer Chiefs, finding the back of the net with more regularity in his second season for the Glamour Boys. Kevin Johnson in what is his 4th match as the interim manager, looking for what would be a second victory here after that narrow win at home against Cape Town Spurs. Surely the only seconds remaining here. Gonzalez turning away from Phillips, looking to get the better of Andile Charlie. Away by Allen. Strong header from Ed Nielsen. Final whistle blows in Dobsonville.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's a yellow card. Yeah.
Not yet.
They thought it was over as well. It wasn't the only one. Clanty trying to prevent the corner, he can't. So we've gone well past the 5 minutes that were added on here. I don't really recall too many stoppages within the stoppage time, at least not for a period as lengthy as this. They're about to hit 7 minutes, and Kaizer Chiefs have one more moment of danger to deal with. Van Ryn's delivery away by Frosler. Now that is the final whistle. Kaizer Chiefs get the victory. They enter the top half of the DSTV Premiership. A smile emblazoned on the face of Kevin Johnson. They get the job done in the derby. Christian Saile with the match-winning moments. And Brian Marty, this was a real slog and very, very difficult conditions here in Soweto, but Chiefs crossed the line with the 3 points.
That's character. They've been struggling. It hasn't been that fluid, but they have to grind out the results. And these are moments which they'll look at and say, sometimes if we're not playing well, we need to have the ability to grind out results. And they've managed to do that. And that should all go well for the confidence. One, in terms of the fans, the excitement, it's a Sunday, and they want to see Chiefs, getting into a good, decent position and get some positive results. For Swallows, of course, they tried a few things, and I thought that particular goal that they considered, they were just too ignorant in terms of their approach and not looking at the time. The back heels, trying to get too fancy at the back, and they got punished for that. And I've got to give Chiefs credit for punishing such mistakes. But for Swallows, that's their style. That's been the culture of wanting to build from the back. But you've got to gauge the climate of the game. And I think that's what they needed to do. And they couldn't. Credit to Chiefs. It's a good result for them.
Well, congratulations all around as well for Bruce Vuma. First appearance in 13 months, and he keeps a clean sheet as Kaizer Chiefs get the better of Swallows in the derby. They edge it 1-0.
It's victory for Ramakos in the DSTV Premiership in the Soweto Derby here at the Dobsonville Stadium. I'm joined now by the DSTV Premiership man of the match. It's Christian Saile. Top performance. You guys get the 3 points. You keep the clean sheet, and it's victory in the derby. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you for supporters coming. Thank you for staff, the team. Thank you, everyone.
How does it work out now with Kevin Johnson, the coach? What are the demands on the players? What are your requirements?
No, now is the new coach. You continue pushing. Last game, you lose. This game, you come in, you concentrate to get 3 points. Now you continue working, continue concentrating in the next game.
Well done today. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Christian Saile is the DSTV Premiership man of the match. Top performance here for Ramakosi. Like I mentioned earlier on, they got the clean sheet, they got the 3 points too. You've seen the log, the updated log. They move up in the right direction. They're in the top half now of the log standings, which was really key to get the 3 vital points, particularly away from home in the derby, having lost their previous derby against Orlando Pirates. Let me bring in the head coach now of the home team. I'm talking about Moroka Solo. Steve Kumbela is right here. Coach Steve, appreciate your time. Thoughts, please.
The only thing you celebrate in a product is when at the back of a defeat, your counterpart celebrates the victory. And then you look at it and say, okay, they appreciate the effort and the fight put against them. We put up a hell of a good fight. But first off, I thought, in my opinion, we should have gone to the dressing room having scored. There's a ball from Mukabadino, the free kick one that hit the 90 degrees. There's another ball Charlie had. Listen, you got a chocolate in your hand and you have to take a bite. You miss it for the second time. Chocolate, take it. We didn't take it. There was a one again that went across the goal mouth. We couldn't get to the end thereof. So those are all chances you count. And then second half obviously got tighter and tighter. But I thought the first 30 minutes of the game, beginning of the match, we couldn't get our feet on the ground. We couldn't settle down. It took us a bit longer. It was from the press mode we chose then. But as soon as we changed from one mode to the other, then it started to give you direction in terms of how we wished them to play. Because in defense, you want to dictate to them how they must play. They are a possession base. They want to build from the back. So you have to force them to do what they don't like, force them to go long, which they did. And they landed their balls diagonal to the fullbacks and all that. And then overcooked them. They went out, started frustrating them and giving us an edge into the game. But unfortunately, the second half, we happened to lose through a mistake that we could have done better. But listen, you got a budget for these. If you are a man working with vegetables, you got to smell veggies. If you are a man working in meat in a market, meat market, you're going to smell meat. So the culmination of the goal we conceded is because of how we wish to play. You don't falter anybody. The only thing that I think I have a responsibility to after this is to go and tell Keenan Phillips, you listen, you have to live in the here and now. Don't forget what happened. It's gone, it's past. But the greatest growth happens in discomfort. I don't think he will ever commit to the same error again.
Coach Steve, appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Yeah, nice in the heat. I thought people enjoyed the game. It has to be more and better, but we appreciate the support as well.
Steve Komphela, thank you so much, head coach of Moroka Swallows. I'm looking for the head coach of Amakos now. It's Kevin Johnson as he slowly walks to me, takes some time, shakes hands with Steve Komphela. Now, here he is, Kevin Johnson. Appreciate your time, coach. Thoughts, please.
Holmes, you know what? Where we are now at the moment, and we have so much, not negative thoughts against our team. I think to come out and play against the team that's number 3 on the log, and you can take 3 points away from them from home, then you played a good game. I thought we could have at least put 2 nice ones. We had 2 chances in the first half where I thought we could have scored. We didn't score. But in saying that, that's the game of football. But it's made out of moments. And the one moment that we trained for, where we asked Pule to go and take them on and come back and play a cross, which Mats takes, and he plays the cross ball to the far post. Saile scores. Yeah, it pleases you to see those moments come in the game. But it also displeases you sometimes when we have the game in the end and we don't really take control of the game. That is something that I think Chiefs have a role to play in it, and we need to be able to control that better. Even if it's 1-0, 2-0, 5-0, it doesn't matter. We must learn to control our game a lot better.
Coach, they're chasing me for time. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Pooms. Thanks.
Kevin Johnson, happy in victory. More football in the DSTV Premiership live right here on your World of Champions. There it is then, Golden Arrows at home against Cape Town City. The DSTV Premiership. Mabiza bonke. It's all over here at Dobsonville Stadium. Moroka Swallows 0. Kaizer Chiefs 1. I am Khomane Msibi. Bye-bye.
Ain't no stopping us, we do the impossible.
The Premier Soccer League is proud to present football entertainment at its best.
Ain't no stopping us, we do the impossible.
The DSTV Premiership. Electrifying, thrilling, energetic, sensational. The DSTV Premiership. Mabiza bonke.